Eleanor walked past the clockmaker's shop every day on her way to work. Tucked between modern boutiques, the little store seemed out of place. Its window displayed a collection of intricate clocks, their hands moving in perfect harmony. One evening, as she passed the shop, something caught her eye, a golden pocket watch glowing faintly under the dim light. Its design was unlike anything she'd seen, with delicate engravings that seemed to shift and change as she stared. Curiosity got the better of her, and she stepped inside. The air smelled of polished wood and oil, and the faint ticking of dozens of clocks filled the room. Behind the counter stood an elderly man with sharp eyes and a gentle smile. "Ah, you've noticed the Timekeeper," he said, nodding toward the pocket watch. Eleanor hesitated. "It's beautiful. Is it for sale?" The clockmaker shook his head. "The Timekeeper isn't for just anyone. It chooses its owner." Before Eleanor could respond, the golden watch began to glow brighter. The clockmaker's smile widened. "It seems the Timekeeper has chosen you," he said, picking it up and handing it to her. Eleanor hesitated before taking the watch. It was warm in her hands, almost as if it were alive. "But I don't understand." "You will," the clockmaker said cryptically. "Take it home. But be careful, this watch doesn't just tell time. It holds secrets." As she left the shop, Eleanor couldn't shake the feeling that she'd stepped into something far bigger than herself. That night, Eleanor sat at her desk, turning the watch over in her hands. The engraving seemed to shimmer, and the ticking sounded almost like a heartbeat. Out of curiosity, she pressed the small button at the top. The room around her blurred, and suddenly, she was no longer in her apartment. Eleanor gasped. She was standing in a bustling street, surrounded by people dressed in 19th century clothing. Carriages rattled by, and the air smelled of coal smoke and baked bread. "What just happened?" she whispered, clutching the watch. A man brushed past her, tipping his hat. "Excuse me, miss." Eleanor's heart raced. The watch hadn't just transported her, it had taken her back in time. Eleanor wandered the streets, marveling at the sights and sounds of a time long gone. She noticed a man watching her from across the square, his eyes sharp and calculating. When their gazes met, he crossed the street and approached her. "You have the Timekeeper," he said softly. "How do you know that?" Eleanor asked, instinctively hiding the watch in her pocket. "It's not the first time I've seen it," the man replied. "And if you're not careful, it won't be the last." Eleanor frowned. "Who are you?" "A traveler like you," he said. "But not everyone who seeks the Timekeeper has good intentions. You need to protect it." The stranger's words unsettled Eleanor. "Why me? I didn't ask for this." "The watch chooses those who can handle its power," the man explained. "It's a gift, but also a responsibility. You can visit the past, glimpse the future, even change events. But every action has consequences." Eleanor stared at the watch, its golden surface gleaming in the sunlight. "What do you mean, consequences?" "Time is fragile," the man said. "Even the smallest change can create ripples that affect the future in ways you can't predict." Eleanor felt the weight of his words. She glanced at the bustling street around her, wondering what would happen if she stayed too long or made the wrong choice. Eleanor clutched the Timekeeper tightly, her mind racing. What if I've already changed something by being here? The stranger nodded toward the street. "It's possible. Even your presence can alter the course of events." Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from nearby. A carriage had toppled over, its wheel broken, and people were rushing to help. Eleanor felt a pang of guilt. Had her presence caused the accident? "You need to leave," the stranger urged. "The longer you stay, the more unstable things become." Eleanor pressed the button on the Timekeeper, and the world blurred around her again. When the dizziness subsided, she was back in her apartment, but everything felt off. Eleanor looked around her apartment, noticing small but strange differences. The photo on her desk, which had always been of her parents, now showed a family she didn't recognize. The books on her shelves were titles she had never bought. Her heart raced. "What's happening?" The Timekeeper ticked loudly, its glow dimmer than before. A sudden knock at the door startled her. When she opened it, the stranger from the past stood there, looking worried. "You've disrupted the timeline," he said. Eleanor stepped back, her mind spinning. "How is that possible? I didn't do anything." "Even small actions can cause ripples," he said. "And now, the Timekeeper's power is fading. We need to fix this before it's too late." Eleanor and the stranger, who introduced himself as Marcus, began piecing together what had changed. They discovered that the toppled carriage in the past had delayed someone important, a scientist who was supposed to attend a meeting that shaped the future. If he missed that meeting, it could have set off a chain reaction, Marcus explained. "How do we fix it?" Eleanor asked. "The Timekeeper can take you back," Marcus said. "But this time, you must be careful. Ensure the scientist gets to his destination without delay." Eleanor hesitated. "What if I make things worse?" Marcus met her gaze. "You won't. You were chosen for a reason." With Marcus's guidance, Eleanor returned to the 19th century. She found the scientist, a man named Dr. Whitaker, and discreetly ensured his carriage reached its destination on time. As the carriage disappeared down the street, Eleanor felt a sense of relief. The Timekeeper glowed brightly in her hand, as if it were pleased. But before she could leave, she noticed Marcus watching her from the shadows. "You did well," he said. "Will everything go back to normal now?" Eleanor asked. Marcus nodded. "The timeline should correct itself. But remember, the Timekeeper's power comes with great responsibility. Use it wisely." Back in her apartment, Eleanor noticed that everything was as it had been before. The photo of her parents was back on her desk, and the books on her shelves were familiar. The Timekeeper sat on her desk, its ticking steady and comforting. She realized that it wasn't just an object, it was a responsibility, a tool for preserving the delicate balance of time. Eleanor decided to keep the Timekeeper safe, vowing to use it only when absolutely necessary. As she placed it in a secure box, she felt a strange sense of peace. The watch had chosen her for a reason, and though she didn't fully understand its purpose, she knew she would honor it. The past, present, and future were hers to protect.